song. It's very interesting. You've got a wonderful life. You travel all over Europe, looking for a location, then you finally settle in Belgium.
Oh, actually, that was my assistant Karan who traveled over. I wish I could have done that. He traveled 3,500 kilometers across Europe. I only land up only in Bruges, straight.
Okay. How do you finally then decide that this is going to be? Does it happen through a process of films that he shot, your assistants have shot for you? Is it through a process of also watching that location? For example, Bruges is a well-known place because of the other film in Bruges.
See, everything starts from the script. What does your script demand? So, in PK, Anushka is supposed to be studying in some country in Europe. And going by the scenes, what we needed was, as Karan mentioned, was a place which has got an old world charm. It's got those old cobble streets, a town square, and water canals. So the first stage is you start obviously hunting for locations on the internet. You kind of browse all over the places, and then many countries who come in also, they have film commissions who provide you pictures. So the first elimination happens on that stage. So we kind of found a few countries, and that's when Karan went out on a journey. And so we actually almost had zeroed down on Italy, where we found water canals were in Venice. But what was happening there was that we didn't find all the locations in one place. Like the canals were in Venice, then the town square we wanted was in Verona, the mountains were somewhere else, and so we had to really travel enough a lot for all those places. Till I saw the images from Bruges, and it just seemed like the right place where it had the canals, it had cobble streets, the town square, and everything that we wanted was in one place. And when we went and shot there, it was just fantastic. Even if I tell my people now, they all would jump up and they say, "We all want to go back," because nobody was really even traveling. We would get up in the morning, everybody had bicycles, and they would come out to location. Even Anushka, Sushant, all those people would cycle around, leave the bike wherever they want. In fact, Sanjeev lost a couple of bikes. He had to pay for it. And so that place has such an old world charm that for me, even watching this now, was a huge amount of nostalgia, and I just want to go back again. In fact, I will do it as soon as the film ends. I want to go back and now, without worrying about the shoot, stay there.
So does that mean that your next film will also be Bruges or somewhere? God would be very happy if that happens. How does it feel as a filmmaker? You arrive in a location, because this is really the first time that you're shooting your past 3 films, hugely successful, but all shot here in India. And now, a sizable chunk, so to speak, going abroad. Was it another dimension to your experience? Was it easy to get people clear off the streets, or, just to make the whole thing happen as you had it in your head?
Yeah, you're right. This is the first time I have shot outside. And that also, as I said, the script drives you to a place. So, since I've never shot, my initial worries were, okay, how will this whole process be? How will the visa happen? Which is the line production company will be shooting there with? Who are those people? Are they honest? Are they good people? Will I have trouble with them? Will I find the equipment? So obviously the first stage was visas, and we happened to bump into Pinky, who's there she is. And I think Sanjeev called up the consulate, and she landed up in office, and she then introduced us to Carl and Edward, and they made the process of visas so easy for us. So we didn't really have to worry about how the unit would go, how the equipment would go. Then the next interesting thing happened was the line producers were there. We were in fact talking to a couple of people, and then finally we ended up working with a company called Zar Films. And they turned out to be such fabulous people. So your biggest worry, as I said, okay, after locations, the next biggest thing is who are the people you are working with, and And that's the choice we make even when we make films in India. I always say that work with a less talented man, it's okay, but he should be a good human being. That's primarily important because you're going to spend a huge amount of time working with that person. So these were such wonderful people, as you can see, they were singing, they were dancing with us. By the time we left, nobody wanted to leave. In fact, Anushka was saying, can't we shoot the rest of the film here? So we left happily, and in fact, some of them landed after the film got over. Some of them came here to attend some weddings. Somebody from a crew got married here. So all in all, it was a wonderful experience. Yeah,
totally positive experience.
Yeah.
It's going to be one for the memory books. Yeah. Something you just said, good human being, and you've always portrayed shades of this. How good can a human being be? How does one start to really be a good human being, which you've also done and explored? It's a theme you seem to explore a lot, isn't it? Like I also did that. How to be a good human being. I mean, the 3 Idiots was also about just doing good. Yeah, you know what the question is. You know.
I'm waiting for it.
Is there another exploration about being a good human being in PK? I don't want the story.
See, Abhijat is here. Abhijat, we write together, and I think somewhere deep down, I guess you guys are probably activists at heart, and so it's not a conscious effort to say, oh, we are going to make a film, we are going to preach people how should we be a good human being. But that's happened by and by. If you're talking about 3 Idiots, which is a film about colleges, education became an integral part of it. So similarly in PK, yes, there is, in fact, tackling a big issue, a very big issue, which I think is very relevant to today's times. But we've done it in a way that it's entertaining. You always have to sugarcoat the message. If you don't sugarcoat the message, nobody's going to, walk to the theaters and watch your film. Nobody wants to be given a moral science lesson. Especially when you pay $200, $300 to buy a ticket, you don't walk in and say, oh, moral science? No. So you entertain them, and by, if you can, in a layer also say what you feel like. And these are things we strongly felt about. So that's the way we've been doing it all the time.
Yeah, 3 back-to-back successes. The 2 Munnabai and then 3 Idiots. What's the pressure like in your mind? It's coming up now. PK is just there.
I need all those beers. I need a bit time for it.
All those beers. God, I hope you got some more beers tonight apart from just that. Outside, okay. We're looking forward to the Belgian beers, but what's the pressure like?
I think this is something we do to ourselves. If I go back and look at my first film, when I made the first film, I was under no pressure. I made the film, my friends saw it, my family saw it. I went home and slept. Friday morning I woke up at 2 in the afternoon when one of my assistants called up. He says, should we go to the theatres and see how people are reacting? And then it occurred to me, I think I should also go and see what the audience is thinking. It didn't matter to me at all. We were happy that we made a great film. But to be honest, after that, somewhere a pressure does, because you're investing larger amount of money in the film, you want the film to be liked. But what I can say that we've never bowed down to commercial pressures and say, okay, we're going to do something, probably sell ourselves or sell our soul to make a film. We made what we believed in. Absolutely, till date we made what we believed in. But to be honest, the pressure is there. The only man who's not under pressure is this man who's sitting out there. He keeps telling me every day, we made a great film. And I said, okay, 19 December we'll know.
It's a nice support to have. It's a nice support. It's good to know that you're somebody there relieving his pressure. But again, something interesting you just said about not bowing to commercial pressure. That comes from what? It comes from in you. It comes with, of course, the wonderful team that you have. Does it come from an innate confidence? Does it come from a storyline? Does it come from knowing I've got a real good story which I'm going to tell, and the commercial success will follow? Does it come from that?
Filmmaking is a process where, unlike anything, if you're looking at it as a commercial venture, first of all, I don't look at it like that, but if you still look at it as a commercial venture, Possibly in any other business, you still might be able to judge, okay, I put in this kind of money, I will make this kind of money. In a film, you really can't judge what the other person is going to like. Especially in a country like India, where you look at the literacy level from north to south, east to west, different kind of people, different kind of face. So the path we've chosen, we say that, okay, here's a script we are writing, do we like it? Are we laughing while writing it? Are we getting emotionally choked while writing it? If we like it, let's go that path. Because if you try and judge, preempt what people are going to like, eventually you might end up making a film which they don't like, and even you don't like, because you do it for them. So if you do it for ourselves, then at least there's a couple of people around who like it. And because it's a very scary thing, you know. I'll tell you an incident while Munna Bhai MBBS was happening, my first film. A filmmaker came to me, I can't name him. He said, "What have you gone mad? You're making a film with Sanjay Dutt, who's an action hero, and you're doing a film like this, which is like a feel-good kind of film. And you're making a film in a hospital? How can you make a film where your entire film is set in a hospital? How can you shoot all your songs in Bombay? You have to go to Switzerland, you have to go to Europe, Bruges, nobody said that time, but you have to go to Europe to shoot a song." So I got scared for a minute. I said, oh, but then you think, who made these rules? Possibly when these things happened for the first time, they were very unique in nature. Possibly when the first time somebody went to Europe, it was very unique in nature. Possibly when sometime you shot with an, you know, when you do things for the first time, they're unique in nature. But so people make these rules which scare you. But I think the moment you discard those rules and say, oh, I'm going to make a film which I like.
That's always been you, isn't it? I mean, people expected you to make a third sequel, a third part, third in the series of Munna Bhai, but you have gone on record to say that you couldn't really work the script, so you possibly shelved it. So it basically again comes down to your core belief that the story is finally what matters.
Yeah, I guess we are not in the rush to make 20 films in a lifetime or 50 films in a lifetime. As long as we can make a film which we enjoy, because that process has to be enjoyable. And fortunately, I work with a team where everybody thinks alike. Vijay, Shantanu here, Anand here, look at the kind of work they do. Nobody's in the race of doing 20 films.
Yeah. I'm going to get you on stage in a couple of minutes. Just want to ask, therefore continue with this about the team. How much important is it to have a team with whom you feel so confident? That's the one part of the question. And doesn't working with the same team also sometimes take away the edginess from it?
The big advantage of working with the same team is that you all know each other. The filmmaking is a process where, okay, say there's a story and I want to make the story. So you have to get everybody on the same page so that they see the film in the same way. When you give a script to a crew, all those 50 people can actually see the same script in a different way. So it takes a huge amount of effort to sit with the team and say, okay, this is the film I'm trying to make. This is what I think. So let's try this. But when you work with the same team, you become friends, you understand each other, it becomes like a family, and they understand your mind much faster than anybody else would. So it's so much easier to work with a team you've already worked with.
And then if you want to bring that edginess in, you have to bend their arm and twist their leg, or you have to say they will understand the different direction you want to take.
No, I have a team which bends my arm most of the time. So they don't let you edit. We were just sitting and talking, and Abhijat is still saying, do you think we can still change that one voiceover? We can still add one scene, and
It's now.
My sensors are like, tomorrow.
They're knocking on the door. Yeah. Okay. 2 films with Sanjay Dutt. 2 films with
3 with him. Sanjay is also in this film.
He's also in this film.
Yeah.
Okay. But as the central protagonist, without getting the story away, we saw the central protagonist always being Sanjay Dutt in the 2 Munna Bhai films. Amir Khan, central to 3 years. Apparently, obviously, also central to this film. And now you brought Sanjay Dutt also into the equation. So, does it mean that your future projects does the story come about because you know you're going to be working with these actors?
No, it works the other way around.
It works
the other way around. Actually, script is your Bible. The script drives everything. From the script emerges everything. And I think that's the way it should happen. You cannot say, okay, this is an actor, so let me write a story around it. Yeah. So you have a script and then you decide who's the actor, and it's a coincidence where the scripts we had, like first two films were obviously bona fide films, obviously. Sanjay Dutt had to be there. And these two films were such that Amir was just the right person.
Why Sanjay had to be there?
Okay, let me tell you an anecdote. When Munna Bhai I went through this whole casting thing it took me a year and a half to really cast. And I had 81 scenes in that film. I've sat with 81 scenes written on a piece of paper, and then I made columns. And on that columns I wrote the name of some, I can't name them, 7, 8 actors. And I would close my eyes for every scene. Okay, this is scene 1. I would run that scene with one actor in my head, same scene with another actor in my head, and I would put a tick mark saying, okay, who would do this scene the best? I did that like sitting over 2 days with every scene. And then I totaled it. Sanjay, honestly speaking, Sanjay, I was the man who was not really on my radar. But when I really totaled it, seeing every scene with that man, Sanjay Dutt was like the tops. And it had to be nobody but Sanjay. Because Sanjay, if you look at him, he's got a tough exterior. So he looks like a goon, he looks like a bhai which he is in the film. And he's got a soft interior. His drooping eyes, that soft smile makes him, so we used to call him the divine fool. He truly represents a divine fool. When we're shooting Three Idiots, I take time to really hunt for my locations. I really take time. Okay, the basic locations stay the same if you're shooting Bombay or Delhi. But when you go really out, I really spend time hunting for those locations. So when we wanted that one last place where Amir Khan would have gone and settled, it took me really long. We went from Sikkim to Leh to every place. And then we found that beautiful lake where Amir would go. And that film released, and I've been told that now you go there, tourism has gone up to an unbelievable stage, and they're saying Kashmir needs tourism, Leh, Ladakh don't need it. There are restaurants called Rancho restaurants, Street restaurants. There are tours around it, and so I really can't say that. We are going to do that. But all I can say is I hope, because we've taken a huge amount of effort to find Bruges, and to me it's a very pretty place with lovely people, and I would like to go there all the time. My whole team wants to go there. They want to take a holiday after the film. So I assume with the amount of people who are going to see this film, we can do the same for Bruges. But I don't think really we need to do that for Bruges. Bruges is a place and all this thing will happen automatically.
So it's a known fact that Amir Khan is turning 50 next year. And although a lot of young actors are coming, but it's still ruled by the Khans. So what keeps them going, even at this age and to be the lead? What is your experience like?
I don't know whether I can answer that. What keeps him going? I don't know. I will check what vitamins he has. But I guess he's a man who is passionate about what he does. He lives his dreams. And when you're passionate about things, you're happy with what you're doing. And I think that happiness keeps you young, keeps you driven. So you look at the kind of work he's been doing, whether it's the kind of films he chooses, whether it's Satyamev Jayate, or they're all driven by desire, driven by dreams, driven by passion. So I guess that keeps him young.
Question I'd like to ask you is, of course, since this is a press conference and a lot of people from the industry are going to watch this in the news, do you have a message for the producers and directors in Bollywood on if they are choosing to shoot in Bruges, whether, how convenient it was for you, or how would you like to promote it to Bollywood right now, as in, to the people who are looking forward to shooting it over there, shooting their forthcoming projects in Bruges?
As I just said, when you're shooting abroad, the immediate things that bother you, or not bother, but what bothers an executive producer, Sanjeev is here, in IEP. He'll be the right man to answer. But the immediate things that The logistics issues are, okay, how will I be able to take my people there? How will I take my equipment there? Will there be a crew to assist? Because you want to go with a minimum team, so will there be a crew who's film savvy? Will all the equipment be available? Will there be cameras there? Will there be stock available? So these are the questions that bother you, and Belgium is so well equipped with studios, equipment, great talent, and great human beings. I have such wonderful experience with those people. There was not a single, otherwise there would be some tips with teams. Why are you spending so much? Where are your accounts? These are kind of things Sanjeev would face. But these were such wonderful people. There was no hassle. And the consulate here made it so easy for us to go there. We become friends and we get lovely beers. So I think for every producer, director, beers should be the basic motivation to go there.
I have a question to Shantanu. I've been often watching some of your interviews at times now also. Total recall. So I've loved your observations on music also. Today, if you listen to most of the music that's being churned out today in Bollywood, personally, my experience, I think out of 100 songs, I may like 2, 3 or 4. If I think of yesteryear music, probably out of 100, I may like easily maybe well above 50. And if you look at the shelf life of contemporary Bollywood music, they hardly have any shelf life. What do you think is the reason for this?
This is right up my street. The reason for this is that every other form of music in India has collapsed. Bollywood music is like blotting paper. It has always taken the best of every genre of music which has ever been. Be it folk, be it ghazal, be it classical lyricism. What has done is systematically have killed everything. So we get to hear about a ghazal only when Jagdish Singh dies. What really happens is that then Bollywood has nothing to take from. And when it has nothing to take from, it starts eating into itself. When it starts eating into itself, automatically the space of the songs becomes lesser in the films. So from a full song becomes a half song, from a half song becomes 2 lines, from 2 lines it becomes ringtones. And therefore, I think it's really a total, almost like a star collapse of system. I think what really has to happen, the non-film also needs to be thriving. Every form of music cannot be left to just the market forces. There has to be a situation where, which is why I'm so fortunate that I heard all in the radio, where all kinds of music was played. I could choose what I liked or not liked, but it was always given to me. And I think if we can understand the seriousness of what I'm saying, and we can at least have 1 hour in an FM radio dedicated to a non-film, our children will hear different kinds of music, the quality of films can be better. Thank you.
The script of the films that we see, it's genius, it's brilliant. I love, we all love, I believe, the type of filmmaking you're doing. One of the things we don't see is the work that you do with the actors behind it. So I just want to know a little bit about your style of directing that we don't see. What works and how in pulling out the type of performances that you want from the actors? You encourage them to do a lot of improv, you encourage them, you have a specific vision, you just pull out what you want before, while you're discussing the character for them. What is your style of direction in getting the performances that you want?
See, with every actor you have to work differently. You cannot say that, okay, this is my style and you work according to this style. You have to see the strengths and weaknesses of every actor and make your path around that. Like if I have to work with Amir or Upcoming Hirani for that matter, I know these are people who love a lot of rehearsals. So much before the shoot, we'll sit with them and do hell of a lot of rehearsals, which I also personally like because you're able to see how your actor is performing and you're able to do things around it. If some line is not working, you can change the line and work around it. When I work with Sanjay Dutt is a guy, if I tell him, hey Sanjay, we have rehearsed, he would just look at me and laugh. And so I realized that his strength is, on the set, give him 2 pages of dialogues, full pages, and he'll take 5 minutes to memorize it. He's an impromptu actor. If I take him to rehearsals, he'll get bored. So there's no real point actually forcing him to rehearse, then he'll lose all his spontaneity out there. Like Arshad Bazi as an actor, I remember when working with Munafai, I realized he never spoke the lines the way they were written on paper. He would take those lines and speak in a way where it becomes very spoken. So, first time I was shooting, I said, no Arshad, these are not the lines, you have to say it the way they are. So when he attempted to do that, he was losing the spark. There was no spark. So then you had to. Then I told him, actually do it the way you feel it. Then I had to sit like a hawk and be sure that whatever I wanted to say in that scene is still coming through in the way he's saying it. But he made it look real with his performance by doing that. So there's no one particular way where you can force an actor to work. You have to adapt to the strength of that actor and modify your methods of still getting out what you want. See what happened with Baman. Baman was, that was his first Hindi film. He used to do a lot of plays. And he's an English speaking actor. He used to do a lot of English plays. So, first day of shoot, we had Rajkumar Hirani and Sunil Dutt. Sanju's father was coming after 16 years. So, all my attention actually went for Mr. Dutt. He was, after seeing my first film, such a senior actor. So, at some level, I think Baman got a little ignored on the shoot. Anyway, we canned the shoot. After the shoot, he asked me, how did it go? So I said, Baman, it went well. I thought you could have done a little better on that one particular. Baman used to laugh, if you remember. Baman used to have this character trait in MBBS where whenever he used to get nervous or scared or he was angry, whenever he used to get angry, to counter that he used to laugh. And I thought, actually, Baman, that could have been a little better. He didn't say anything. Next day morning, he came to my office and he said, I don't think I can do this film. I think you should take another actor. I said, what happened? He said, this is the first time I'm doing a Hindi film and I really can't speak Hindi so well. And if that's the way you're going to tell me that I did it so badly, I said, no, I didn't tell you that. I was upfront and frank. He said, I got so nervous. You can't imagine how nervous I was with acting with Sunil Dutt. So, you cast somebody else. So I told Baman, get up. We got up. I said, give me a Jadoo Ki Chappi, a magic hug, which is a concept in the film. So I said, I hugged him. I said, okay, now sit down. Let's solve your problem. What's your problem? He said, I'm very uncomfortable with the language. It takes me really time to mug it. So I said, okay, let's go to the location. So Baman in the film had a big speech which he gives to the medical students in the college. And I said, okay, we'll go there. And you do it the way you want to do it. You modify the way you want to. You feel comfortable with the space. You want to say it in English? Say it in English. I'll still rewrite it in a way that I'll have some Hindi lines which the audience will still get the essence of the scene. So he went there and he started doing things. He started saying what he wanted. And he said an amazing thing which has stayed with me. He said some lines where the lines in the film where Munna is a guy who's talking about that doctors should be compassionate. Doctors should love the patients. So Baman got up and he said, no, as a doctor I should not love my patients. I said, okay, go on, what are you saying? He said, no, as a doctor if I love my patients, I will not be able to operate on them. If as a doctor I want to operate on my daughter, my hands will shake as a surgeon. So I should not be compassionate with my doctors, with my patients. So I said, Baman, this looks like a very strong point. It looks believable. But if you say this, then my hero, who's Sanjay Dutt, will collapse. I want to say that doctors should be, and the point he's making, the doctors should be compassionate. And you're making a very strong point, saying that they should not. So Baman looked at me and he said, that's your problem. He said, as a character, I in my head cannot think that I'm a villain. No person in his head can think that he's an antagonist. I have to have a viewpoint. As a dean of this place, I have to say that I am not compassionate because I should not be very close to the patients. I won't be able to operate on them. So you have to figure out how you do it. I said, okay, I'll figure out. But then that stayed with me. Whenever we wrote after that, it stayed with us that nobody in the head thinks that he's a villain. So you have to give a point to your antagonist. So whether it was Rajkumar Hirani again in 3 Idiots, he had a point of view that life is a race and if you don't really run fast, you will not succeed. So now as a hero, as a protagonist of the film, the main actor has to break that point of view. But you cannot say that everything is so black and white and dry. So Baman taught me that one day. But coming to the point that you work with an actor, you give him the space to bloom, to blossom, understand his problems, and so there's no fixed path as such.
I think we're going to end of now. Yes, thank you very much for your